वेदस्य निर्मलं चक्षु ज्योतिर्शास्त्रमनुत्तमम् शिखामयूराणाम् नागानां मणयो यथा. I start my discussions today with this Vedic mantra, which tells us the importance of astrology and what astrology is. Let's first understand what is the nature of human being at whatever level you are. Maybe you are a senior manager, you are a director, you are a president, or a farmer, a business, anything you are. Human being was always interested in their future. And by whatever cost, by whatever means, some predictions can be made. We were always interested in from the Vedic time to today. Nothing has changed in this arena of life. You ask somebody, I can tell you tomorrow. Oh, that's great. I can tell whether you will get this job or not. Oh, it always was a pleasant surprise for human being. So what is astrology? Astrology is to provide this pleasant surprise. And how do we do that? Pleasant surprise can be by a guess, can be by a tarot card, can be by anything else. But here, it is the study of the positions of the planets and the stars around our earth, which has got an impact on earth. Those celestial bodies which has got an impact on earth, and when something has got an impact on earth, it will also have an impact on human being living on earth. So the calculations of the movement of the planets and their effects on our Mother Earth and on our life, this study is called astrology. Every culture in the world, every civilization, though I believe that whole civilization is one, we are all human beings, but if you believe something different, then also every civilization of humanity has this astrology in some form or another. Some people talk about zodiac, some people talk about those 12 animals of Chinese astrology. Somebody talks about Vedic astrology, but in every culture, in the mind of almost every human being. And we also say, I don't believe in astrology. I don't believe in astrology, but okay, still you tell me something about me, what is going to happen. So even for those non-believer also, this subject is of very much interest. And therefore this sloka which I have spoken today, Vedasya Nirmalam, in the Vedic study, astrology is on top. And this astrology is also called arithmetic, calculations. So these calculations, mathematics and astrology in the Vedic studies enjoys the topmost place as money in cobras. Money in cobra is here. And as turkeys in peacocks, which is here. You have seen those three things. So this sloka says that among the Vedas, astrology enjoys the same place as turkeys in peacock and money in astrology has been given at most importance among all the studies possible in Vedas and after Vedas, of course, in all Vedanga. So now, what all we study in astrology? There are three basic main aspects of it. Number one, wherever you are, the whole universe is how many degrees?
360.
360. Everybody knows it. Okay. And where will these planets move? In this 360 degrees. So, depending upon the position of Earth, wherever this planet is, astrology has divided this 360 degrees into 12 parts. Each part is called a house. And three aspects, as I said you, ascendant, moon sign, and zodiac are three very important aspects of Vedic astrology. What is ascendant? Ascendant is the position of planets with respect to place of your birth. Okay, so suppose you are at this place, with this from here, all 360 degrees we will see, and we will try to understand that what is the positions of each and every planet. Okay. What is lunar chart? Lunar chart is the position of all the planets with respect to moon. And zodiac is with respect to sun. So now you try to understand, if Earth completes one round, how many degrees it has traveled? 360 degrees. My birthplace started rotating and has come to the same place. That means I have completed 360 degrees. Okay. And this 360s has been divided by 12. So we have 12 houses. Each house is of course, 30 degrees. So, first house, which is also called ascendant, is this 30 degree at the time of my birth. And whatever the planets are present there will be planets in ascendant. And it also depends upon, now Earth has rotated here and my birthplace is this side. Okay, in 2-3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, and then whatever the planets are present here in this 30 degrees will be the planets present in the ascendant of the person. So ascendant changes every 2 hours. Why every 2 hours? Because Earth completes its rotation in 24 hours, and 24 hours there are 12 houses. 360 degree has been divided into 12 houses. So 24 hours divided by 12 houses. So in every house you will have 2 hours. So your ascendant practically will change every 2 hours. And that is the most important chart in Vedic astrology. Among these 2 hours also, there are many other things. Like I said, bhava, it is called bhav or house. And other than these bhav and house, there are nakshatras. And the whole 360 degrees has been divided into 27 nakshatras. So number one, in which bhav you were born, in which nakshatra you were born, and then it comes the position of moon. Okay, vis-a-vis your birthplace where moon was located. That is called your birth rasi. And vis-a-vis your birthplace where sun was rotated. Earth completes 360 degree, the whole round of sun in a year's time. Years is 365 and a quarter day. Okay, 365 divided by 12 because 12 houses. So zodiac, which is based on movement of sun vis-a-vis your birthplace, changes every month because there are 12 months. And so if you have seen zodiac in the western place, is very famous, and it is being talked about. Who are you? Are you Scorpio? Are you Libra? You are Aries. So if you are born in the month of Aries, you will be called Aries. These three is okay. That is movement of earth, movement of moon, and movement of sun. They are very important for us because they are very close to us, and we can see the effect of sun and moon with our open eyes also. When sun rises, it is day. When sun sets, it is night. When it is full moon, you are able to get a calming light all around the earth. And when it is not full moon, it is a new moon, then you get the dark nights. And then now, other planets, Venus and Mercury, they remain very close to sun always. If you study astronomy, you will find that they are close to sun. So they are almost 1 or 2 bhav away from sun or with the sun. Most of the times you will find that Mercury is either in the 12th house from sun, with the sun, or in the second house from the sun. Okay, So Mercury and Venus are very closely related with Sun, and they are around Sun almost all the times. Other planets which are, look, Rasi, as I said you, your ascendant changes every 2 hours. Your zodiac changes every month. Your moon sign changes every 2.25 days. How? Because moon completes the complete cycle of 360 degree in 27 days and few hours. So 27 days, few hours divided by 12 comes to 2 days and few hours. So moon changes rasis from 2 days and few hours. If moon today is in Aries, it will remain in Aries for maximum 2 to 3 days. And then it will move to, and it will complete its complete cycle in about a month. Sun will complete a total cycle in about a year. Mars completes it about in 11 months. And other two planets which has got a great gravitational pull towards Earth are Jupiter and Saturn. Jupiter takes 18 years to complete 360 degrees. I'm sorry, not 18 years. Jupiter takes 12 years. Okay? And Saturn takes 30 years to complete one round. So can you now tell me the position of Saturn in one house will be for how many days? 30 years divided by 12. So Saturn will remain in one Rasi for 2.5 years. If it is in Aquarius, it will remain at the moment. Where is Saturn? You know, it is in Capricorn. Okay. And now, next time Saturn will come in Capricorn only after 30 years. Okay. So, anyone who was born around 1962-63 could have got their Saturn in Capricorn. So every 30 years, Saturn completes its whole cycle. Nodes, those are the shadows of Sun and Moon. Shadows takes, they are called north nodes and south nodes. And it takes 18 years for them to complete a cycle. And therefore, they remain in one sign for 18 months. That is how your chart is being prepared. We do not give importance to Pluto, to Neptune, because they are far away and their speed is very slow. It takes about 120 years for them to complete a cycle. And therefore, the Vedic astrology has not given a lot of importance to planets like Pluto and Neptune. So the whole basic astrology is based on 12 houses and 9 planets. Okay, so those bhav will be, the ascendant will always be called first house. And moving anti-clockwise from the ascendant, you will get next to the first house, second house, third house, fourth house, fifth house, sixth house, and the last one will be 12th house. That is how chart is made. And then depending upon which planet was present in ascendance and which Rasi was present. Okay, so Rasis we mention by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. 1 is Aries, 2 is Taurus, 3 is Gemini, 4 is Cancer, 5 is Leo, 6 is Virgo, 7 is Libra, 8 is Scorpio, 9 is Sagittarius, 10 is, you also tell me something,
Aquarius?
Capricorn. Okay?
Oh, sorry.
11 is Aquarius and 12 is Pisces. So in the first house, if number 6 is written, then what will be your ascendant? Virgo. If number 1 is written, this is the first house, and number 1 is also written, then it will be Aries. First house is the house of Aries. If 2 is written in the first house, if 2 is written, that doesn't make it second house. Whatever the numbers are written, houses are fixed. If you see the chart, houses are fixed and they are never written because they are fixed. And then if 2 is written, then your ascendant is Taurus. If 3 is written, your ascendant is Gemini. If 4 is written, then your ascendant is Cancer. 5 is Leo. 6 is Virgo. And similarly, it can be, numbers can only be from 1 to 12. Okay. So when you make the chart, making chart is a mathematical calculations. And as you put it, you will be able to see that these are the bhav, and in the first bhav, the Leo was rising, and therefore your ascendant becomes Leo. Your ascendant becomes Virgo. Your ascendant becomes Capricorn, or any other things. And then, suppose your ascendant is Virgo, then which planet was present in the Virgo at the time of our birth will be written in the first house. Let's say your birth was around sunrise. If your birth was around sunrise, then sun will remain in the first house, because earth completes around in 24 hours. If your birth is at the time of sunset, the position of sun in your chart will be in the 7th house. Okay. If it goes after sunrise, 2 hours after sunrise approximately, then the position of sun will be in your 12th house. Okay. Earth moves like this, sun will move like this. This is how the planets are placed in your all 12 houses. 9 planets in 12 houses. And therefore, some of the houses will also be empty. If you have a house, I think your surrounding has many houses. And if you have house, what you will have? owner of the house. So every house also has an owner. And who is the owner? Planets. Some of the planets, some of us, some of Germans, some of you also have two houses. It also goes to the planets. Sun and moon has got one house. Rest all planets, physical planets other than nodes, because they are not physical, they have two houses each. Sun has the ownership of Leo. Moon has the ownership of Cancer. Mars has the ownership of Aries and Scorpio. Mercury has the ownership of, it's definitely difficult to cover everything in this 30 minutes thing, but I'm trying going very fast and trying to tell you how it has an impact on us. And Mercury also has two houses, Gemini and Virgo. Then Jupiter. Okay, Jupiter has also two houses, and they are Sagittarius and Pisces. Venus also has two houses. They are Taurus and Libra. Saturn also has two houses, and they are called Capricorn and Aquarius. So depending upon the position, depending upon, like if you are born in hot summer, your nature will be different. If you are born in a scorching winter, your nature will be different. So depending upon the climatic conditions, and from where these climatic conditions comes in? Climatic conditions comes in because of the movement of the planets. Like for example, I give you sun. Sun you can always understand. Sun has got two types of rotation, like because of the Earth's rotation and because of the Earth revolution. You have seasons. Seasons, we know that it happens because of the sun, and we also know that night and day happens also because of the sun. So position of sun decides whether it will be night or it will be day. Position of the moon decides whether water will be going up or going down. So every planet has got a karak, a nature. Okay, and according to that nature, predictions in astrologies are being done. And then every planet has got a nature on the whole earth also. You get some crops in winter, you get some other crops in summer. They are not common. Similarly, the stones, where the impact of Jupiter is more, you will be able to get the mines for the stone of Jupiter's. So Earth and our life is totally dependent on the planetary positions affecting our Earth. And depending upon whatever deficiency we have, we can fill it with food, we can fill it with wearing those stones because those planets has produced them, and we can also fill them by praying to the concerned planets, requesting them to be nice to us. Requesting them to be nice to us are called rituals. Those stones are called stones. And the food, suggestions of foods are called food. So these are all the suggestions depending upon what planet was weak, what house was weak at the time of birth is being given by the concerned astrologers.
Okay.
It's a very deep scientific studies of the different celestial bodies and effect of those different celestial bodies on our earth, on our human body, on human mind, on human heart, and on humanity at the large. I think I have this much of time only, and I wish that all these planets in rotation and revolution always remains favorable to us, and we be able to live our complete life. Thank you.